Yes. These are positive. Right?
Yeah.
And then, okay, so Beyond Shelter is a nonprofit organization. It was founded in 1988 in response to increasing the numbers of homeless families off Los Angeles. So this agency pretty much just gets the families off the streets of Los Angeles and puts them in permanent housing and provides them with jobs so they can continue paying off. And they give them to 6 to a full year to get settled so they can like finally not be on their own, but they don't have so much like people like, on their case. Does that make sense? And they also provide with like child care. If they, like let's say they're at work and they don't have enough money to pay for someone to take care of their children, they support them with child care, and they have like built parks around the corners of the housings and things like that.
Yeah, so they help they help like mothers and single fathers get jobs, and they make sure that they keep working so that they could provide for their families. And then go us a picture. And here's like some statistics. 37.3 million people, or 12.5% of the population, live at or below the official poverty level, and it increased. And so like Beyond Shelter basically is just helping those families that need help. And here's a picture of people eating. And some things we can do to help is like the Adopt a Family program, which is like you kind of like help the families with like you kind of take them in for a while and you help them with like their needs and stuff like that. And the holiday toy drive every year, like around the holidays, they collect toys for the kids and sometimes clothes and stuff like that. Or you could send a check or make a donation to Beyond Shelter. You contribute assets like stock or real property and other assets to support the program like cash. And or you can reduce your capital gains taxes by contributing through this method. There's a number right there. And then you could visit a Kmart gift registry. Homeless families who are moving from shelter into an apartment often move in with nothing, so you can like provide beds or furniture or anything that they could put in their house. So, yeah. There's a picture, and then the little homeless guy. Oh, he's not real. Oh.
Oh, I get it. Like you don't want like to these programs that we know.
Yeah.
So they make them up.
Yeah. Is that it?
My turn. Alright. LAUSD budget cuts by me, Eduardo Gonzalez, and Lizette Garcia. Lizette Garcia. Alright, the LAUSD, hit it. Oh, no. The video. No, yeah. That's how legit is Fat Newscast doing it on.
Gonna have a little commercial first.
Oh yeah.
Let it fix the
Never mind
wine
the
though.
commercial. Huh?
Let it fix the wine.
Fix the what?
Wine. Did you connect the speakers?
Is it connected already?
No.
So,
Hold on. Pause
Yeah.
it, pause it first.
Yeah, I saw that on TV.
You did?
FaceTime.
To Sacramento for a last-ditch lobbying effort with state lawmakers. This after the LA School Board approves a budget that would mean massive layoffs and $1 billion in cutbacks. Good evening, I'm Michelle Tuesday.
I'm Mark Brown. One board member called the budget an absolute tragedy, and the workers heading for the state capitol agree. Eyewitness News reporter Shubha Ravindran is live near MacArthur Park with new developments in the school budget crisis. Shubha.
Well, Mark and Michelle, tomorrow morning, hundreds of district workers will be rallying in front of the state capitol, and in order to get there, they'll be traveling on the buses you see behind me throughout the night. Today, of course, LAUSD's school board announced massive budget cuts, so these workers are hoping to do whatever they can to save their jobs. Their bags are packed and their names are on the list. At midnight, hundreds of service employees from LAUSD will be boarding these buses and heading to Sacramento to send a message.
They need to fix this mess. There's plenty of money out there. They don't need to take money from education.
The economic climate, it's not going to be that easy to find another position. You know, I'm not the young woman that I used to be, so my age is a factor.
Susan Gossman says more than 1,200 of her union members are now standing to lose their jobs.
We're the essential workers. We're the people that keep the schools working. We do the attendance, which equals money. We call parents when children are sick.
Save our schools! Fix this mess!
As district employees rallied outside LAUSD headquarters today, inside, board members made it official. Over $1 billion in budget cuts and across-the-board layoffs will be made to balance the budget.
The quality of the education in this school district will most assuredly go down.
To soften the blow, the school board is now considering a parcel tax.
If we do not have shared commitments from bargaining units in a parcel tax, we will have to reduce critical programs all across the district.
But as one dissenting board member put it today, the real solution should be coming from Sacramento.
The revenue system in the state of California for public education has to be fixed.
They need to tax some of these alcohol, tobacco, and, you know, Arnold needs to step up to the plate and resolve these crises. It's a disaster.
And back out here live, you can see many district workers getting ready to leave any minute now for the state capitol. They'll be arriving in Sacramento at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning and will be rallying on the Capitol steps at 11 a.m. Their hope is to have the state help them out.
Angry school workers boarding buses to Sacramento.
All right, then. With that video, of course, you know what it was saying, like, since because of the budget cuts, teachers, of course, are losing their jobs. And right here, we have a graph right here, LAUSD programs that will be impacted by the proposed $460 million budget cut. Programs such as like the art programs and music programs, they want to cut those out. And then I also have a quote from Michelle Landsberg. It says the impact of California's budget cuts has varied from school to school because of the patchwork of federal and state funding for education. Some campuses have felt the pinch far less than others. Yeah, they some have felt far less than others. I mean, but the ones that have really hit the impact was some in LA. All right, here. Education is a state constitutional right, and this is what I mean by some have got more impacted. More than half of all permanent teaching positions that were lost at LAUSD last year came from 3 middle schools, which filed a lawsuit claiming that last year they lost 1/2 and 2/3 of their teachers, creating instability for the predominantly low-income Black and Latino students. So, and then also right here, we got a quote from Mark Rosenbaum. I'm not really sure. I forgot what day he was the head of. But he's saying they could go through their budget cuts, the things that are not required but by the Constitution. Education is a state constitutional right. And if you read it down here, this is the California state constitution based on education. Alright, then effects on LAUSD students. Some aren't just a tad over capacity, they're ridiculously maxed out to the point of absurdity. Now you hear about teachers, like, instead of 20 students, they're getting 40 to 50. And then we also got voices of the students. We got one from a 12th grader at Wilson High School. Her name is Jennifer Maldonado, And she says these conditions include overcrowded schools and classes that make it difficult for teachers to teach